The DJH tender body is one piece etching, half etched there, and it's absolutely dead easy to put together. You don't need bending bars for this, you just need to be careful. Just bend, go slightly beyond a right angle, bend again, check. Another advantage of this method of construction is you have little tabs and you have little slots, and you might need to ease these slots slightly. I do that with the aid of a Swan Morton knife. Don't push too much, you just need to sort of tease it slightly occasionally, just to sort of take out any burr. If you press too hard, you'll distort the area locally. Now make sure you put it the right way up. It doesn't go that way, it goes that way. Just fit them into position. And with luck it should go. Get the back one in first. When it all goes properly, they click rather nicely into position with a satisfying little click. That seems to be okay. That one's a little bit on the tight side, but that's got it. Same with the other side. You don't necessarily have to have every one in to start with, as long as you have adjacent ones into where you're soldering. That's it. Now I always start with the back. Now there's a little bit of leeway, but just line that up and make sure that the back is absolutely dead right. Parallel to the footplate. The back of the tender is parallel to the footplate. That's sprung again. Can be awkward, but that's it. And what I'm going to do is just tack at the back. Again, with all soldering, just a tack joint. Don't make that joint perfect to begin with. Check that everything is aligned. Get your fingers out of the way. And there you can see that that's started. And all those will fit nicely in place. It might well have a rather jolly lean on it at some stage, but don't worry. Now go away and as far away as possible from your first joint. Tack once more. As always, soldering from the inside. Don't worry too much if a little bit overflows like that. That's not of vital importance here, because we can draw back that later. Draw that back later. Go back again. Let's do the middle one this side. What I'm doing is doing them in the vicinity of the slot and tab, because that's the strongest part of the construction, and it's far less likely that the brass will cockle. With this amount of brass over a long area, it's dead easy for it to cockle, and although that's entirely prototypical with wobbly tenders, it doesn't look too good on our model. Do the same the other side, checking that everything is still square, and work towards the other end. This is a lot of brass, so it's quite a large heat sink, so you'll need the iron cranked up a fair amount, and you'll need to keep your fingers well out of the way even after the solder's solidified. The next job is to run the seam all the way along. Little tack there and there and there and there, and then just the way we've done, as I've shown you before, just run it all the way through. And then you have the basics of your tender. As I say, don't worry about this. You can suck it back through. I've shown you how to do that before, exactly the same technique. Things like handrails, footsteps and so on can be fitted all from the inside before the interior is done, exactly the way we did with the locomotive cabs. It's no different whatsoever, and it shouldn't take long to finish off the basic tender body there. I've taken the A2 tender quite a bit further. I've added handrails, again soldered on from the inside. All I've got to do now is the final one of these steps and the rear handrail. The next stage will be to slot in this large coal space with self-trimming bunker, and that just slots in. It has to go in at this stage because the rest of the front bulkhead, you won't get that in place because of the turn. It has to slide in from the front, but already it's a very, very nice snug fit. And if I just move the 4F slightly to the side, if we get the A2 now, I think you can see that the ride height is just about perfect. Again, there's no adjustment necessary, but if the tender were too low, just little washers just between. But all the construction on the tenders now and the rest of the Loco bodies we've covered already, so the next time you see them they will be substantially complete. One thing that might be of interest is the means I employ of coupling locomotive to its tender. On toy trains, they couple it to the truck of a Pacific, and that makes it all floppy and hopeless and it derails. Either that or a fixed drawbar. I've never been very satisfied with this. So what I do, I've made my own. Now I claim no originality for this. A very bright person showed it to me. Unfortunately, he's dead now, but a chap called Brian Van Meteren, a wonderful man, many years ago, he employed this system. It's really just a piece of bent nickel silver wire soldered to the base of the tender, and that's its own spring, and that goes into a split pin attached to the locomotive drawbar, and it's adjustable so that as the locomotive goes round a bend, it automatically adjusts. It's absolutely dirt cheap. It's a brilliant idea, and it took somebody with intelligence to think it, and I just nicked it. Can you see how it's adjustable?